वर्णिवेशरमणीयदर्शनं मन्दहासरुचिरादनाम्बुजं पूजितं सुरनरोत्तमैर्मुदा धर्मनन्दनमहं विचिन्तये प्रभु तव मूर्ति विनोदकारी पलपन विसरे नहीं जो विसारी जुगल चरण सोड़ चिन्ह जेह नजर समीपे रहो अमारी एह नजर समीपे रहो अमारी एह गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। बोलो श्री स्वामीनारायण भगवाननी जय, श्री हरि कृष्ण महाराजनी जय, श्री घनश्याम महाराजनी जय, श्री ठाकुर जी महाराजनी जय, श्री सद्गुरु देवनी जय। Pathway Control Liberation. Pujyapat Guruji, who has always taught us one thing, and that is the Supreme Almighty is Bhagwan Swaminarayan. So let me first pray to Bhagwan Swaminarayan and recall the divine form of Maharaj, which we have got from our Adi Gurudev Muktanand Swami, Thakur Ji Maharaj, all the Sadguru Santos from our divine Guru Parampara, from Muktanand Swami to our Pujya Dada Guruji. Let me also remember today and pray to remain always with us to our Pujyapat Guruji. Also let me keep all the divine muktos of this Loyadham Parivar, all the santos and bhaktos. And then let me start today's Katha. We pray to all the Sadgurus from Muktanandiya Parampara and Pujya Guruji, also to all the santos and bhaktos. Please stay with us. You are the only one who can teach us, who can preach us, who can lead us towards Bhagwan's divine form. All of you devotees, my humble Jai Swaminarayan. First and foremost, let me see something today and try to learn from Muktanand Swami's divine life. Why? Because Muktanand Swami, he is the one who is the Adi Gurudev, not only for our Loyadham Parivar Bhaktos, but also for the whole Swaminarayan movement. Why? Because he is even known as the Guru of even Bhagwan Swaminarayan. And that is why he is known as Adi Gurudev. So, Muktanand Swami's life is limitless, meaning we cannot measure how many or how much virtues he possesses. He is like an ocean. One cannot measure the ocean, meaning what kind of things remain inside the ocean. In the same way, we cannot measure Muktanand Swami's divine life, because his life is full of virtues. There are countless virtues, divine virtues remain in Muktanand Swami's life. If we acquire 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, whatever, according to our capacity, then merely by one of the virtues we learn from Muktanand Swami's divine life, we can become divine. Just as a Chintamani, just as a Parasmani touch any iron, the same iron immediately become a gold, immediately transfer, immediately turn into the gold. In the same way, if we come into contact with Muktanand Swami's divine virtues, if we come into contact with his divine life incidents, and if we attach our own self with the divine Muktanand Swami's soul, and at the same time we also become divine as Muktanand Swami was. Why we are staying here in the satsang? We only want to experience some divinity. We only want to experience some godly experiences, and for that the satsang is divine, but we need to become divine. And if we want to become divine, we must need to attach our own self with Muktanand Swami's divine life. Let us try to something finding or something getting from Muktanand Swami's divine life. And for that, Muktanand Swami's one of virtues is his surrenderness towards his Guru, Ramanand Swami. That is what I found from his life, like one of the main and divine virtues. So let me try to surrender our own mind and our nature for getting Rajipo of our Guruji as well as all of the Sadgurus from our Muktanandiya Parampara, and by getting their Rajipo, we definitely and automatically get the Rajipo of Maharaj himself. So let we try, let we start. We knew about Muktanand Swami's life, and that's why I am not repeating the whole life incidents. But in short, Muktanand Swami received his Guru after much trials. We knew the whole story of Muktanand Swami's life, like when, how he born, after that how was his childhood, what he did to renounce his family life, meaning his house and relatives and everything. After renouncing, how he went for the searching a perfect Guru who leads him towards the celibacy, eightfold celibacy, which leads towards Bhagwan himself. So in his journey to find a perfect Guru, he had changed many Gurus and finally accepted Ramanand Swami as his Guru. He has changed 4 Gurus. Why? Because he wanted to attain God himself. And without staying with a Guru, one cannot measure his spirituality, his advancement towards Bhagwan, his connection with Bhagwan. No one can measure. Merely by staying with someone, one can understand how deep his spirituality. And for that purpose, Muktanand Swami stayed for several period of time with the Guru. Not only that, but he served them with whole heart. After that, after making them pleased upon him, Muktanand Swami asked from them, I want to attain God. I want to attain eightfold celibacy. But those Gurus, they were unable to provide this divine virtue of eightfold celibacy. And that's why they suggest Muktanand Swami, the another Guru, another person. And in this way, finally, without anyone's suggestion, Muktanand Swami attained Ramanand Swami. And merely by doing his darshan, without any tasting or without staying with him, merely by his darshan, Muktanand Swami's heart accepted the truth, like this Ramanand Swami will be my Guru. There is no one in this entire world who can lead me towards Bhagwan. This Satpurus in the form of Ramanand Swami is only for me. When he has accepted this truth, then by his mind, by his heart, he decided, I am a disciple of Ramanand Swami. Whether he accepts me as his disciple or not, that doesn't matter. But I want to become his perfect disciple. From that moment, at that time, he was not any ordinary person. At that time, Muktanand Swami was the head of one of the organization in Sardar. He was the head, meaning the Mahant of the Maj, but still he has renounced that life. He has thousands of followers. His followers, they offer him like golden ornaments, various different kinds of clothes, jewelry, everything. But still, he had renounced everything and decided, now I want to become a disciple of Ramananda Swami. Now after that, he had attained perfect Guru in the form of Ramananda Swami. Now let me introspect for our own life. Let me go in our past history. Did we go for searching a perfect Guru in our life? No, never. Now, another question ask for our own self. Do we have attained the same perfect Guru just as Muktananda Swami attained in the form of Ramananda Swami? Yes, we did attain in the form of Puja Guruji. Now the another question arises in our mind. What Muktananda Swami received from Ramananda Swami, meaning what he got from Ramananda Swami in spirituality. Do we attain the same thing from our Puja Guruji? If yes, then that's fine. If not, then is there any deficiency in the form of Guru, or is there any deficiency remaining in our own self, meaning in the life of disciple? In spirituality, there is one truth, and that is, one must need a perfect Guru. Why? Because Guru is the only person who donates the form of God. There is no one in the entire universe who can give us bhagwan. Only Guru is the one who can grant us bhagwan. Without the perfect Guru, one cannot attain God. Even Gunajithanand Swami himself says in his Vato, I have never seen from millions of years, there is not a single person, not a single Jew I watch who attained God without the help of or without attaining the perfect Guru. So Satpurus is must on this path of spirituality. If we want to attain liberation, then we need a perfect Guru. Now we have attained the perfect Guru. Then, why we are not getting the same thing what Muktananda Swami got from Ramananda Swami? That is the question. If our Guru is perfect, then what is our deficiency? Let me see in the next slide. If that is so, meaning if the Guru is the only person who grants us, who donates us the form of God, then why we are not achieving that? It's only because just as we are studying Muktananda Swami's life, so at the same time Raghunath Das was also Ramananda Swami's disciple, but Sriji Maharaj himself called him as Asur in the Vachanamrut. Why he didn't got what Muktananda Swami received from his Guru Ramananda Swami? That's the question. Why Raghunath Das could not attain God? He was also a disciple of Ramananda Swami. So Ramananda Swami was not at fault. The whole fault was on part of Raghunath Das. Why? Because Muktananda Swami got the form of Maharaj from Ramananda Swami and not Raghunath Das. Why? Because he is at fault. Raghunath Das didn't perceive divinity in the form of Ramananda Swami. That's why. He has a deficiency in his nishtha towards Ramananda Swami. He perceived human traits in the form of Ramananda Swami in his Guru. That's why he didn't attain anything in spirituality. Instead, he attained the title of Ashur, meaning the demon, by Sriji Maharaj himself. So, is there any particular method to serve one's Guru? Because Muktananda Swami received everything from his Guru Ramananda Swami. Now, we have many disciples of Pujya Guruji, we have seen them, like they have attained everything from Pujya Guruji. And we didn't. Why? Something we are lacking. So now let we learn a method to serve one's Guru. There is 3 points. First one is find a perfect Guru. How one can find a perfect Guru? Stay with him and decide, is he perfect for me or not? Now, we do not need to follow this path because we have already followed this point. Like we have attained perfect Guru in the form of our Pujya Guruji. Because we have stayed for long period of time with him and we have witnessed his day-to-day life, his devotion towards Bhagwan, his understanding regarding the supremacy of Bhagwan, Swaminarayan, his nature, his attitude to follow his commands. We have experienced everything. We have experienced divinity in him. Like we have experienced the divine virtues of Bhagwan himself through his life. Meaning we have experienced Bhagwan through him. And according to the scriptures like Vachanamrut and others, we have keep it in our mind that Bhagwan forever resides in his heart. So there is no question of finding a perfect Guru because we have already attained. Now, then, this is the most important point for each and every spiritual aspirant. Lock your mind. What is locking our mind in the spirituality? Accept his words without doubting. Whatever he says, that's definitely truth. That doesn't matter what people say. That doesn't matter what we learn, what our intellect tells us. Lock everything. Do not think anything. Only focus what he says. That's it. Focus what he says and immediately try to follow what he says. That's the path of spirituality. Now, after locking your mind, surrender your locked mind. This is also the important things. Otherwise, if we have locked our intellect, if we have locked our mind, but if we kept the key with us, then what happened? Sometimes we open the lock. Some adverse situation forces us to open the lock. And when our mind is open, then we definitely create or feel some deficiency or some doubting, some questions in the words of Guru, and that is the main problem on the path of spirituality. Now, that is why we need to surrender our locked mind. We should lock our mind, we should lock our intellect and give the key to the Guru, so that when we need, he open it. Because we don't know when, where and how we need or how much we need to open our mind. Give him everything because we want to attain Bhagwan through him. So let him decide what we need, what we do not need. That's why be his instrument. Santosh many times says in his kadi "Hu to vastu harini sakshat," meaning I am his instrument. If any instrument or any particular things like your phone never start automatically without your command. When you put it in charging, then and then he consumes power. If you keep it dead battery, then it remains as it was. And when you give him command to call someone, then and then the phone call. Otherwise, it remains as it is. In the same way, we are an instrument of our spiritual master. We are an instrument of our Guru. So we should lock our mind, should surrender our locked mind to him, and then do only what he says. Not more than that, not less than that. Only as he says. We need to do only that much things, not more or less. If we do this, then automatically, gradually, we start to attain what Muktananda Swami got from Ramananda Swami, the same amount of things, meaning same divine virtues, same saintliness, and the same Supreme God, Bhagwan Swaminarayan. Okay, now, for all these things, meaning just as I told you, like, be an instrument, follow his commands, but what we need to follow his agnyas. Next, please. How many arts or expertise do we need to follow Guru's agnya? That's the question arising in our mind. For following his agnyas, do we need to be a scholar? Do we need to be an expert reader or expert writer? Do we need perfect knowledge regarding the worldly things or the other scripture points? Do we need to grasp whatever he says or whatever written in the scriptures? Do we need a particular things like suppose he gave us command to perform a particular task? Do we need knowledge regarding this task? Guess what kind of how many arts or expertise we need to follow his agnyas? Why? Because the agnya is agnya, no matter it is smaller or bigger. But to follow the agnyas to find his Rajipo. That's why think what kind of arts and expertise do we need? 1 arts, 2 arts, many arts, thousands arts and expertise. Think. Guys. Yes, no idea? Let we see. Just one, no more than that, and that is called as Nishtha. Nishtha in one's Guru is the main governing power to follow his Agnya. If we have Nishtha in the form of Puja Guruji, then we can do everything for him. In the history, there were many such devotees who had performed everything, meaning everything to please their gurus. We have many times read or listened in Katha the story of Eklavya, Aruni, Upamanyu, etc. from Upanishads. In the same way, in our satsang, there is an example of Guru Bhakti is none other than our Adi Gurudev Muktananda Swami. Even Sriji Maharaj many times call him, you are a perfect Guru Bhakt. You are a true Guru Bhakt. So Guru Bhakt title was given to Muktananda Swami by Sriji Maharaj himself. Also his disciple Adhananda Swami was the same Guru Bhakt because he had attained that virtues from his Guru Muktananda Swami's life. Moreover, is there anyone at present time? Because Muktananda Swami and Adhananda Swami was in past, meaning at the time of Bhagwan Swaminarayan. But is there any person? Yes. You can find our Puja Guruji as the perfect Guru Bhakt. Because only to please his Guru, he is living even today. He is performing each and every action. He is performing each and every activity only and only to please his spiritual master in the form of Pujya Dada Guruji. He has no any other motor, he has no any other motivational force behind his each and every action. Even he eats, even he sleeps, even he walks, even he doing any activity only and only to please his spiritual master. Think for our own self. What we do in our day-to-day action to please our Guruji. Count 1, 2, 3. If not, then let me start from today. This Katha is only to wake up. If we are not performing the things, we should start it. Because we want to attain the same saintliness, we want to attain the same virtues, what Muktanand Swami lived. If we have Nishtha, then we can do everything for the sake of our Guru. So definitely we can able to follow each and every Agnya given by him. And this is not only Muktanand Swami's life, but this is also the scripture. This is also written in the Vachanamrut. This is also spoken by Maharaj himself in our Loyadham. What he says in Loyadham, let we see in the next slide. Shriji Maharaj himself says in Loya Vachanamrut 3rd, what would a person who has faith in God and His Son coupled with the knowledge of their greatness not do for the sake of God and His Son? They can do everything. Even what is not suitable, still that person is able to do that things. Why? Because he has such nishtha, he has such a faith in the form of bhagwan and his Satpurus. Just as Muktanand Swami has nishtha in his life for his Guru Ramanand Swami, then he performed everything, like he did everything for his Guru. Let me see what he did for his Guru. In next slide. Listening Katha while standing in rain, renounce his position as a Mahant, even help in farming a devotee's farm. When Muktanand Swami saw Ramanand Swami, meaning when he first time met him, at that time, Muktanand Swami decided, this is my Guru. And after that, he every time went to listening Katha of Ramanand Swami. But as Ramanand Swami renounced, Ramanand Swami wanted to taste his bhakti, his devotion, his dedication, and that's why he denied him to listen his Katha. Then Muktanand Swami was listening Ramanand Swami's Katha, not sitting in front of him, not sitting in an assembly, but even while standing on a narrow street, even in the darkness, even though there was raining, still he was standing over there. He was shivering with the cold, rainy water. He was totally wet, all of his clothes wet. Still he was standing there and listening Ramanand Swami's discourses. That was his quest for listening Katha. Now after that, when Ramanand Swami accepted him, but only with one condition. The condition was very tough for Muktanand Swami, but nothing was able to stop him to attend Ramanand Swami as his Guru. And that's why Muktanand Swami had finally renounced everything, like he has 100,000 rupees at the time, meaning today is like more than $100,000 per year income of his mutt, of his ashram. He has renounced that ashram in Sardar. Moreover, as a Mahant, the devotees, meaning he has thousands of followers, he has renounced. Those followers, they offer him golden ornaments, not for God, for himself. rich clothes, not for Bhagwan but for Muktanand Swami. Still he had renounced everything. All these reputations, all these higher positions of Mahant, everything he had renounced. After getting a permission from his old guru, now when Muktanand Swami reached Ramanand Swami with extreme happiness just as he had attained God himself, the same amount of happiness he had in his mind when he went to Ramanand Swami. But there, Ramanand Swami didn't accept him as his disciple. He immediately told him, now if you want to become my disciple, then you should do one thing. You should follow my Agnya. Muktanand Swami said, yes, I am ready to follow each and every command given by you. That's why I am coming here. That's why I had renounced everything behind. I am coming here to follow your Agnyas. Then Ramanand Swami said, you should do one thing, and that is, this Modubai is my devotee, and no one with him who can help him in his farm. So you should go to his farm, live there, and help him. Meaning, you should do all kind of work in his farm, like plowing the land, like sowing the seeds in the land, like watering the plants, everything. Think, one who had renounced thousands of devotees, golden jewelry, like millions of amount, properties, lands, Mandir, ashram, everything he had renounced. And now he only renounced everything to stay with Ramanand Swami so that he can serve his Guru perfectly. By serving him, he can attain the divine virtues. This is the whole purpose, right? But Muktanand Swami didn't think for anything else. He immediately accepted to follow his Guru's Agnya. Immediately he became ready to help Modubai, meaning a devotee, in his farm. This is not possible by any ordinary person. This is Muktanand Swami. He is a Guru Bhakt. That's why he has a nishta in his Guru's words, his Guru's Agnyas. That's why he can be able to follow this Agnya. Now Muktanand Swami did this thing for the sake of his Guru, meaning only to please his Guru. For that he had need to lock his mind. Let us see how he locked his mind. Muktanand Swami never think for anything else besides his Gurudev. He never think what I was. He never think in his mind like what will be my future. The whole life I have to do the same thing like farming. I'm not for this. I'm coming here to worship Bhagwan, not helping in the farm, not plowing the land. He didn't think in this way. So is there any particular key or is there any particular thing to lock his intellect? Because naturally such kind of thoughts arise in our mind. And why this question arises, how he locked his intellect? Because Muktanand Swami was born in Brahmin family. From his childhood, he learned how to worship idol in the Mandir. He learned to do Katha on haricharitramrut or Ramayana. He had learned many scriptures from his childhood, but he never went even for once in a farm to work there. He had no kind of experience. He had no kind of such art of farming. He has no any kind of expertise in farming. Still now he has to do this. but still there is no question arise in his mind like how I can do this. I have not any kind of experience regarding this. How I can do this? How I can follow my Guru's Agnya? He never thought, he never think in his mind regarding these points. He never think, let you see next slide, he never think, how can I do this? Meaning, how can I plowing the land, how can I sowing the seeds in the land, how he can do this job? He never think, am I able to do this? Is there any kind of ability in myself to perform this job? He never think for that. He never think what people will think for me, because he had thousands of followers, he had thousands of devotees of his own before he met Ramananda Swami. So he was very reputed, highly reputed and venerable person at that time. And now he was plowing in the farm. He was helping a devotee of Ramananda Swami in his farm. So definitely this question arises, what will the other people think for him? But still Muktananda Swami never think, never. No question arises while following one's Guru's Agnya. Then, only by doing this thing, meaning locking his intellect, locking his mind, and give the key to his Guru. He never think, what will be my future? I'm supposed to do the same thing, meaning I'm supposed to do the farming the whole life. He never think for that. What is the key to attain such Rajipo? Is there a key? Yes, in next slide we can see what is the key to get such Rajipo. One thought, only one thought. That is the master key of Muktananda Swami's life. That is what I can do for him, meaning what I can do for my Guru. That is the only thought which always remain in Muktananda Swami's life. And this thought give all kind of force to follow his agnyas. Even though he didn't know about farming, still this thought can give him expertise and arts of farming. This thought is enough to give him everything, all kind of saintliness. This thought is enough to lock his mind. This thought is enough to change his own nature, because to change one's nature is very difficult, near impossible. But Muktananda Swami has changed his nature. His nature was only to worship Bhagwan while staying at one place. Instead of that, he changed his nature in such a way that he was performing hard work in the farm. Why? Because he had only one thought in his mind. That is, how I can please him. How I can please him. How I can please my Guru Ramananda Swami. This is also the same thought written in the Vachanamrut. of the last chapter. The same thing. So now, by Muktananda Swami's this life, we can at least learn this thought. Try to keep this one thought in our mind always, because this thought help us to follow the agnyas of our Guruji. Moreover, this one thought can give us all kind of arts and expertise. This thought will give us the ideas how to get his Rajipo. This single thought can give us Bhagwan himself. Because without pleasing one's Guru, one can never attain the form of Bhagwan. If we want to attain Bhagwan, not doubt we have attained in the form of Murti, in the form of Satpurus, in the form of scriptures, many these ways, but still one cannot attain the same God in one's heart, which is called forever God reside in one's heart. If we want to attain that, if we want to realize God in one's soul, meaning within, that can only be achieved with this thought. That's why this thought is very, very, very important. And now if we acquire this thought, then what will be one's life, or what will be one's action, what will be one's behavior? Let we see in the next slide. Muktanand Swami, only with this one thought, he remained as a new aspirant, even though he was a senior sant. Muktanand Swami is the main sant amongst all of the santos at the time of Bhagwan Swaminarayan. Still, he was remain as a new, meaning like new aspirant. Just as today, a devotee or an renouncing devotee or a household devotee, that doesn't matter, but one who entered the satsang, how he remained as very humble. He even bowed down to each and every devotees, each and every santos. He never think like, I am greater than these, I am older than these. He never thinks in this way. In the same way, Muktanand Swami always remain as a new aspirant. Just as a new devotee, he performed each and every kind of seva. He remain always ready to follow agnyas. He always ready to learn something, new things from satsang. The same amount of virtues we cannot see in the devotee who has passed some years in the satsang. But Muktanand Swami's life was that he remained always new aspirant. Like he has the same amount of curiosity to learn some new things. He has the same amount of intensity to follow Maharaj Agnya. He has same amount of intensity to please not only his Guru but also the other devotees and other santos of Maharaj. In the same way, he remained as Dasna Das the whole life, not for short period of time, not only when Ramanand Swami was there, but for his whole life. He remained as Dasna Das. So if we want to become a Dasna Das, if we want to become a perfect disciple, if we want to become a perfect devotees, then we must need to keep a thought in our mind, that is what I can do for my Guru, what I can do to please my Guru. This is the only thought which gives us all kind of strength, all kind of expertise, all kind of arts, everything. This single thought will give us. By saying this, my humble Jai Swaminarayan, let we pray to our Maharaj, all our Guru Parampara Sadgurus, particular Muktanand Swami. Also let we pray to our Puja Guruji, because what is in Muktanand Swami is everything in Puja Guruji. Both are the same. And that's why we should pray to them, like, please grant us the same amount of saintliness, same amount of thoughts, what Muktanand Swami had, what Muktanand Swami possessed. So please grant us these things so that we can also make please you. Because we want to please you, and by pleasing you, we want to attain Bhagwan in our heart. By praying this, my humble Jai Swaminarayan to all devotees. Shri Ghanshyamprakashdasji Jai, Shri Thakurji Maharajni Jai, Shri Patim Shri Dharam Sarvadeveshwaram Bhakti Dharmatmajam Vasudevam Harim Madhavam Keshavam Kamadam Karanam Swaminarayanam Neelakantham Bhaja Shri Ghanshyamprakashdasji Jai.